Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's Wendy here from Toonpish Crafts and I hope you're doing okay. Now, a couple of weeks ago I mentioned that I'd purchased some moulds from Julia Cuts at Pouring Your Heart Out and they arrived just before Christmas. I couldn't wait to get my hands on these and I've been trying out one of them for now. I will be getting on to the others. I absolutely love the mould. I love how it's come out. So yeah, let's have a look how I've got on with the Highland Cow mould. So this is the mould that I got from Julia Cuts. My first impression of this mould, the silicone is amazing. It is gorgeous, heavy and solid silicone. I'm using some white Vista pigment in some Let's Resin resin and I'm spraying the mould with isopropanol alcohol. That's to help stop a lot of the little bubbles from around the very intricate detail of this mould. Now I only want a small amount of resin in the bottom of this mould. I don't want it to come up too far, so I just want a coverage at the bottom really. Now when I was pouring this white in, I did start with good intentions of directing the resin between the sections. However, after missing a few times, I decided it doesn't matter, I can get rid of any spillages over the top of the mould with a silicone tool. I then used a micro brush to go around as many little pieces as I could, just in case there was any bits I missed, because white on white you can't really see where you're going. Well, I couldn't anyway, my eyes are not that young anymore. And I give it a good squirt with isopropanol alcohol and put it to bed. Now it was still cold here and I had it on heat mat, so this was later the same day. I'm using some UV resin now, some Let's Resin UV resin and some lemon yellow jade action pigment. I've put it in a small 10ml bottle with a needle tip and this is where I'm going to start my design. Now I plan on having lots of colours in this, but I didn't want them all to merge and I didn't want the sections of colours, so what I decided to do was to use UV resin in parts and 2-part epoxy resin in parts. By using the UV resin I could put the colour where I wanted it to be. I then flash cured it with a small torch. Once I'd done quite a big section, then I'd put the lamp over it and cure it properly for a few minutes. This was quite a lengthy process and time consuming, but it was fun. Now I will speed bits of this up, but I'm going to cut quite a bit out, which is not me. I usually show you everything, but this does go on for quite some time. And I'm sure once you've seen a little bit of it, you understand how I'm doing it. I'm putting the yellow all on one side of the little raised parts, the detail. So the yellow will be only on one side. So I carry on and do the whole mould with one side yellow. Next I thought I'd have some blue in it, so I decided to use some sapphire blue from Let's Resin. Now this is a pigment, not a UV pigment, and I had no clue that it didn't like UV light, so my nice bright blue did not stay bright blue. However, I then put blue in it later anyway and I didn't have to put any green in it. So with this colour I did the opposite side of the yellow. I turned the mould upside down because it was easier, and I did the right hand side again. As it was upside down, it was just the opposite side. And I did all the detail on that side of the mould with this colour. Then I decided to use some red. Now the red I'm doing a little bit more detail because I wanted a bit more of a brighter colour. As my blue had disappeared at that point and I'd got yellow and green, I thought, I need more colour in this. So with the red, I just went around all the places that I wanted it to go. And if I'm doing a large area with UV resin, I'll pop over the top with a long neck lighter just to get rid of any surface bubbles. So the red was taking shape. And again, once I'd done a large section, it went under the lamp and I just put the colour where I wanted it to go. It was very haphazard and I love haphazard. Once I'd done all the red, I decided to finish it off with 2-part epoxy resin. So I'm using 2 colours from Mr. Mica, which are Violet Shine and Deep Blue. Gorgeous, absolutely stunning colours. And I've just mixed them with some 2-part epoxy resin from Let's Resin, and I've popped them into my 10ml bottles so that I can place the colours exactly where I want them to go. I don't mind if these two colours mix a little, but they have been sitting for about 10 minutes, so they're quite thick. So they should only really mix on the edges that they touch. And as I have some nice channels now made out for me by my UV resin, this resin will sit lovely in those spaces. So I just mixed and matched the purple and the blue and put them exactly where I wanted. And I didn't have to put any green in this because I already had green. I just wanted to say a quick hello and welcome to all my new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed already, maybe you would consider doing so. It doesn't cost anything and it does help my channel out. Last week I said that when I reach 10,000 I would do a giveaway. It's come round quicker than I thought it would and I'm not quite prepared, but a giveaway will be happening in the next couple of weeks. And thank you so much for supporting my channel and helping me get to 10,000 subscribers. It's absolutely blown me away. Going back to my project, and it's starting to take shape. I'm starting to see what I really wanted to see. A beautiful coloured Highland cow. This mould is so well detailed. I do love it. It is slightly higher on the horns and the lower part of the chin, but that doesn't take away how gorgeous this mould is. I mean, where else have you seen a Highland cow mould? I haven't seen any anywhere. And just for being what it is, I love it. So the following day I wanted to add some more detail to this Highland cow. So I've got a copper leafing pen from Krylon. And I'm going to decant a little onto this plastic lid. As I can decant it and use a paintbrush to get it into those small areas, then I can paint on some whiskers or some flicks of hair, whichever way you want to look at it. Now I did do this several times and you can clean it off with isopropanol alcohol and a baby wipe if you do it wrong. And I used 3 different colours. I used the copper, the silver and the gold in the end. It was lots of fun. It was easy, really. Although my gold had run out and I had to get a new one, so I had to wait for that to turn up in the post. It is quite different working on a negative area though, because you know that the white parts aren't going to be there when you demould. So it's going to look different. But I am a huge fan of copper. I do love copper, but I thought it needed the other colours to go with it. Otherwise it didn't look quite right. Then I had a nice surprise from Let's Resin. They very kindly sent me a new base mat that is their silicone mat, and it's huge, absolutely huge. And my one was so old and worn out, it was really nice to have a nice black surface again. So this is what it looks like when I've done all the different Krylon colours, the copper, the silver and the gold. It's difficult to see how shiny they are and how they light up in different directions. You'll have to trust me on that one. So then I just gave it a clear top coat. I didn't fill the mould up completely to the top because the ears and the chin are slightly higher. That means the overspill is always in the middle. I just filled it up as much as it needed. Again, it's on the heat mat because it's cold. I squirted it with isopropanol alcohol and I left it to cure overnight. So following day it's time to demold, and I've turned it upside down to help me demold this. I thought it would be the easier way to do it. I do love demolding day, but the question remains, do I like it? The answer is definitely yes. I think the whiskers has definitely added something to it, although it does look better from a distance, not close up. It's a bit like a Van Gogh or a Monet, where from a distance it looks so much better. But I love it. I love the design and I'm very happy to have that hanging in my room. I try it in a few locations. It doesn't end up where you'll see it in the video. apart from the end. But I think it looks so nice with a solid colour background. Absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope you've got something out of it. Come back and see me next week, because you never know what I'm going to be up to. I never know what I'm going to be up to. Have a great week. Happy crafting, and bye for now.